Wizards of 12 here, and today we're going to be taking a tour of the San Diego Supercomputer Center, which is home to three supercomputers, in addition to a quite large data center. We are right outside of the Trestles supercomputer, which is not their most recent, but one of their most powerful supercomputers. Behind me is one of their oldest data centers here. This is, as you can see, it's separated by plastic sheets, and I mean, the cooling is not all that efficient, but it works. Over there features the Gordon Supercomputer Center as well. Let's go inside. See?
Got that?
Yeah.
Hey, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Y'all doing good today? My name is Adam. I'm operations manager here. I run basically this room behind you, which runs 24/7, 365. You come here Christmas Day at 3 a.m. There will be someone in that room, not me. There will be someone in that room. And what we do here is we basically make sure that the computers that are running, we listen to them. We find out what they're doing, what jobs they're doing, and based on that, we tell our air handlers, which have air flowing down through them from the ceiling, how cold of the air should come out and how fast that air is moving. That air goes underneath the floor, up through these operating tiles, comes into the racks, and then back up into the ceiling. Feel this right here. Does it feel the air coming out? It's also really cold, so it's nice. Get out.
Ah, it's nice and cool down there.
Yeah, it is nice and cool. Everyone feel?
It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna sit my whole body off the floor. So the room is less a room that's just cool, and actually you're in the cold part of the room right now, and it is more like an organism with respiration. It's because your body listens to you when you're running and does something different. So too, we do things different when the computers, especially the supercomputers, start to get bigger load. Does that make sense? Cool. Let me put this back over here. So, a couple things to note. One, you may not be aware of it, but this was actually the first place the internet came to California. We are ground zero of the internet in California. Before that, it was run by the military. Okay? That's one. Two, we have earthquakes in California. That's all our gear.
Oh, that's cool.
It's on what's called ISO base. Can you see it moving on the bottom there? So we can handle about a 5.5 on the Richter scale. In that scenario, what will happen is the ground will move, and this will stay perfectly still, and we actually have footage of this happening. There's an earthquake, I'm jumping in here, right? So, what did I just push around? Actually, some of the most expensive gear in the room. Our networking people love it when I do that. So this piece of equipment right here is called a router. We all have them at home, right? It's not a big deal. Routers connect networks to other networks, and home it connects your local area network to the internet. Actually, to your ISP. So, our network is about 100 gigabit. So at home, you might have 10 megabit, right? That's huge. We download YouTube faster than anyone here. Seriously. Because we've been around for so long, all of the ISPs in San Diego route through us. Not through this device here, but through a room downstairs. Okay? What I like to show people, just to give a perspective on how much things cost in an environment like this. So this fiber optic cable, that 100 gigabit cable, is connected to what's called an optic. It's basically a card that turns the light signal going into it into an electrical signal. And that one little 6-ounce card costs around $30,000. And we got it at half price because we're educational. That unit right there is about $1 million. Okay? Like I said, the networking people love it when I swing it around like that. So, one other thing I want to show you. See that hanging sign right down there? That triangle hanging from the ceiling? There's a new rack. We just got it. I'm really excited. The rack is just one of these. That rack has storage of 5 petabytes. Everyone know what a petabyte is?
Yep. Pretty big.
Some people do, some people don't. Well, let's figure it out. We all know what megabytes are, right? Yeah. Typical MP3 is what, 3 to 5 megabytes? Something like that? Oh, you have 1,000 megabytes, you have a gigabyte, right? Y'all said that. You have 1,000 gigabytes, you have a terabyte. Very good. You have 1,000 terabytes, you have a
Petabyte.
Great. You have 1,000 petabytes, you have a
Exabyte.
I think it's an etabyte.
Exabyte.
Great, yeah. So, the reason why I'm showing that to you is that in a second we're going to go down an aisle. That aisle is the storage for our 2 supercomputers. And that entire aisle is about 12 petabytes. And yet we now have one rack that can hold almost half of that. The technology in the data center moves very, very fast. Okay? So, we're going to go down. I'm not even going to try and talk back there because it's too crowded. We're going to walk down to this one aisle. We're going to go down that aisle. At the end of the aisle on the left-hand side, there's no way you cannot hear it. It's a computer called Gordon. We'll pass by Gordon, and we'll head to the back of the room and we'll see our newest supercomputer. Cool? Yeah. Follow me. Yeah, this is around 12 petabytes.
This is deafeningly loud.
There's so much text over here. Oh, that's white. First off, since this is the last group, you can kind of ask more questions than the other groups did because we have a little bit of time. So I'll ask right now, do you have any questions? No questions, not one question, yes.
How come Gordon has such a loud cooling system?
That's a good question. So normally the way you cool computers, our home computers, we have a power supply and it has a fan in it. Gordon does not have that. Instead, the power supply has no fan, and they put about 1,060 watt fans on the outside of it, and that's what you're hearing. All those fans. It's actually very efficient. So actually, Comet is harder to cool because it uses the traditional approach.
That's common over here.
It's actually with this air handler here, which is about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times the capacity than one of these guys, just to handle what Comet is doing. So Gordon runs at around 350 kilowatts, and that runs at about 750 kilowatts. But for twice the amount of power, we get 6 times the amount of speed for the same cost. So they're both about 12 million bucks, which is pretty cheap by supercomputer standards. Good question. Other questions? Anyone? No? What do you do if the power goes out? Good question.
UPS.
We have not only do we get our power from a kind of a generation facility on campus, so that's good in itself. Just outside here, we have a 2 megawatt generator. We can probably run for about a month. Good question. Love it. Any other ones? Yes, sir.
So what did you guys do when San Diego had a blackout?
We didn't have a blackout. The question was, what did we do when San Diego, a couple years ago, right? San Diego, someone pressed the wrong switch in Arizona, and we had a blackout, right? Not us. Interestingly, The largest data center in San Diego is called AIS. They went down, and that's not the funny part. They are a 2-story building. They're on the bottom floor. You know who their neighbor is above them? San Diego Gas and Electric. And they were completely down. So we're pretty proud of our facility. We have some unique things happening here.
What would happen if one of them not working?
That's a great question. What would happen if one of our air handlers failed? Actually, one of our air handlers that we passed is in failure mode right now. We can probably handle maybe 2 or 3 because we're not fully, our capacity of system isn't at 100%. When it gets to 100%, I doubt we can handle more than 2 going out of I turned everything on. Good question. Yes, sir.
What happens if there was an earthquake above 5.5?
I'm getting out of Dodge. Seriously, there's nothing we can do. If I really felt something that I felt was dangerous, I'd shut the master power off, and then I'd get out of Dodge. Because at that, one of these things could weigh thousands of pounds. If it fell over on you, you're just, flat. We got a wrap. Got it. We're done.
You guys are going to go all the way back up the
Another comment on Gordon, the loud blue one that you heard, was one of the first supercomputers to feature solid-state memory, about 300 terabytes in fact. And as always, thanks for watching.